Now, I don't want to become the Elon Musk Brazilian judge channel, but unironically, it triggers me that some people were defending the practice of governments asking for social media to censor. And I want to show you what Elon Musk's side of the story is because he released it 9 hours ago and it's quite concerning.
Demands from this Judge Alexander. Um, that's his name on Twitter at Alexander, um, and there would be to suspend accounts immediately. We're given typically 2 hours to suspend an account or face massive fines. And the final straw is we were being given demands to suspend sitting members of the parliament and major journalists. And moreover, we could not tell them that this was at the behest of uh, Alexander Morales. We had to pretend that it was due to our rules of service. And that was the final straw, and we said no.
So I want people to understand what is happening. And this, in my opinion, is very similar to what happened in the United States and what's happening with the European Union and what's happening to many governments that try to pretend that we live in free and open societies. Right now, most of the conversation is happening online. And this is why the governments don't want to just shut down the social media because they could. If it was this dangerous to democracy, if social media was this harmful, they would just shut it down. But no, they don't want to because they want their parties, their political parties, to be able to push the message into your house. They want to be on your phone, they want to be on your computer, they want to push their propaganda into your house. However, they do not want their political opponents and their dissidents and the populists to do the same. So what they do, in order not to look like they're authoritarians, in order not to seem like you live in a dictatorship, they will say, no, of course you have free speech. Of course you can say whatever you want. But the private company can do whatever. So basically, Twitter is just outside of their hands. Twitter is just doing whatever it wants. Same with Facebook, same with Google. These are private companies on the internet and they can do whatever. They just can't be regulated like the banks. They can't be regulated like the utility companies. Like, this is just one era of human activity that just possibly cannot have any type of regulation. And of course, these companies just happen to ban sitting senators. They just happen to ban politicians. They just happen to ban journalists because, if you're not with the establishment, you're probably a hateful bigot anyway. Because everything that's good and just in the world is only with the sitting politicians, right? Like, the idea of a politician being a liar or a corrupt only happens if you're in the opposition. If you're a sitting member, if you're part of the establishment, well, you're the most decent person ever imaginable. And you have like these social medias that are concerning because they're not doing enough from squashing misinformation. So again, like the thing that I guess pissed Elon Musk and what upset me, and I predicted this from 2 years ago, I was saying that this is happening, is that the government is not just laundering the censorship through the private companies, but they do not want people to know that they are the ones censoring. This happened in the UK during the pandemic. There was a small scandal. It appeared in the BBC like a blip. The Guardian reported on it a little bit. But basically, they had a ministry of censorship during the pandemic, and they operated behind closed doors. We don't know which accounts they got taken down. But from what I understand, even comedians and people that were doing sarcasm and satire were also targeted. And again, like it's this shady business of operating behind closed doors with no accountability, no ability from the people that are getting censored to have an appeal. None of that. Because what happens is, like, the government requires Twitter to censor. Twitter will just give a message, your account has been terminated due to terms of service, so they don't even say what exactly you have done. And then there's no appeal. You can appeal to Twitter, but Twitter isn't the one that actually wanted you to get banned, so of course they're going to deny the appeal. And you can't appeal to the government because you don't know that the government is the institution which caused the ban in the first place. And the people that are most affected aren't the content creators. Like, this is the wrong way to look at it. It's like, okay, well, a content creator with 2 million subscribers got banned. He's going to go someplace else and he's still going to have a business. No, The people that are most affected are the followers. Like those 2 million people that were requiring that journalist or that politician, either for information or for representation, they are the ones that are being hurt the most. The establishment is basically saying that 2 million people are not allowed to get their information from that person. And that is the concerning thing, because this is not a democracy anymore. A democracy exists when the people are allowed to talk amongst themselves, to discuss their grievances, and then elect the representative. Even the reason that it's called a president and it's not called a king or a monarch is the American way of doing things. Like the Americans, after separating from the British monarchy, they could have had King Washington, but they chose not to. Instead, they had President Washington. It's like being president of a school club. The idea is that the people at that school, they can talk to each other willingly. There is no teacher over there to hear, oh, are you saying some misinformation? Little Billy, are you discussing some harmful things that we don't want you to talk about? No, they would be able to talk about literally anything they wanted, and then they would decide which one of them is the representative, which one of them is the president. This is how the system is supposed to work. Anything else is just a perversion of the system. Anything else, you may as well just go to the days of old where you have the monarchy. I mean, at the end of the day, in the United States, the Democrats already say that it's our sacred capital, it's our holy capital, right? This is the monarchy way of thinking, where like God ordains the king, and it is sacred. But that's not the way the Constitution was meant. And yeah, like what you're seeing in Brazil is no different than what the Twitter file showed that it was happening in America. Is no different than what we heard that was happening in Britain during the pandemic. It is part and parcel of modern way of doing democracy, where we're pretending, everyone is pretending that, oh, we're a free and just and open society. Except that when you're using the internet, it's not the government that's censoring you, of course. No, it's the private platform. It's the private platform that can do whatever it wants, and it's like Short Fat Otaku says, Elon Musk was just asked by the Brazilian government to censor, and when he said no, surely there's not going to be any consequences. I mean, this is just normal. The government can ask, according to Short Fat Otaku. I'll have a talk with him the next time we play D&D, because it's ridiculous. But anyway, it's time for some shameless e-begging, because if I don't promote myself, then who will? If you scroll down, like right here into the pinned comment, there's 3 links. One takes you to my live stream channel, where I restarted This Week is Stupid, I gotta guess. So if you sign up for it, every Sunday, there's going to be an episode of it. And then if you want to support the channel, for whatever reason, there's the tip jar here, and I guarantee to you, you will get the best buyer's remorse. And I guarantee to you, you will get the best buyer's remorse on the internet. So let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.